Hi, I'm Nicole Garcia from Louisville, Colorado. When I was born, I was named Michael. I was born and raised the oldest son of a Hispanic Roman Catholic family. And so I did everything I could for the next 42 years to live up to being the oldest son. I excelled in school, went to CU Boulder, got my degree, graduated, and then ended up getting married. Not until I was 34, but I got married like I was supposed to, and went into law enforcement so I could prove that I was the man in the family. Ended up being very successful in my career, and my wife was very successful as a legal secretary. So together we were, from the outside looking in, we had it all. We had a beautiful 5-bedroom house just outside of downtown Denver. We had 2 new cars in the garage. So financially and looking in, we looked good. But unfortunately, we were both miserable. I was miserable because I thought I was married to the wrong person. I don't know what it was, but I knew I was miserable. And she was happy to divorce me when I asked for a divorce because apparently I made her very miserable. So once I got divorced and bought a new house, I started wondering why I walked away from everything. Why did I give up everything that I was supposed to have and work so hard to get? After going into therapy, my wonderful therapist got me through the initial depression, but then this issue of the cross-dressing kept coming back. And through my life, I wasn't sure. Sometimes I had feelings that maybe I was a gay man, and when they would talk about it in the church that I felt like a hypocrite because maybe I was gay, but I also had a closet full of clothes, women's clothes, that I would never tell anybody about. So I finally came to the conclusion that I may be a cross-dresser. I went to a convention in Denver and met other people who were like me. I couldn't believe it. 250 people who were cross-dressers or transsexuals. And during that period, being in that convention, I came to the realization, had that moment of clarity that I was a woman. When I came to that conclusion, it was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. But then I realized my family would not accept this. My work, what would my work say? So I had to stop and just ask the Lord, what am I going to do? The first time I'd asked that question for a long time because I'd walked away from the church about 15 years earlier because I couldn't stand the hypocrisy. Not necessarily the church, but of mine because I felt like I was lying. Well, lo and behold, one of my friends mentioned a church, and I walked into it. It was St. Paul Lutheran in downtown Denver. I'd never been in a Lutheran church, but I kind of asked myself, if it's being suggested, then maybe the Lord is putting the thought into my mind, so I better start listening. When I went in and sat down, first I was amazed that nobody pointed and laughed and said, oh, look, there's a guy in a dress. They came up to me and hugged me, welcomed me, and I looked down at the bulletin and it said that they welcomed people of all sexual orientations. I was amazed, simply amazed. And they kept asking me to go back, so I kept going back. And that's been about 4.5 years since I kept going back. And St. Paul Lutheran has become my extended family because they have shown me that I could celebrate my faith and love Jesus Christ because he died and forgave me. That I am really a child of God. And I want to spread that word, that we are all welcome in his church.